Hi, my loves. Hasina here after a brief holiday hiatus. I am back to making videos. Happy 2020. We're going to put on some makeup today and chat. And it's taken me a second to get back into it. I had a really rough time setting up. It was very tough. I feel like I have no recollection of how I set up these videos before. I needed a lot of help from my husband to set up, and it was super frustrating because I don't like to need help. And that's not today's discussion, so I guess I should save that for another time. But damn, I need to work on that. So let's get started. You're gonna see me sipping some kombucha. There's this brand, it's called Hum, and it is so good. Suspiciously good. I'm not sure. Is this healthy or is this just soda? It says it's not. It doesn't say it has anything bad in there, but every time I drink it, I'm like, this just tastes like really good soda. Really, really good soda. I also have some products that I'm using that I've never used before, so let's just hope that it looks nice. I don't even know how to begin, you guys. I will start with the topic that has been sitting with me in these past couple of weeks. The topic, and I hope I stay on topic, is how much of you is you and how much of you is your response to your environment. I have been sitting with this for myself because I was on vacation for my birthday and I got to go back to Hawaii, and I love it there. It's just lovely. It matches my energy. It definitely matches my energy. I stayed in Kauai and Oahu, and huge difference. Very much enjoyed both, but for different reasons. Oahu is so much more city-like, but still friendly nature, positive nature. But yeah, it's one of my favorite places to go to. I've been to Kauai. This is my second time going to Kauai. I'm using this, I got a sample. These are all things I got samples of that I've never tried before. But the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel, I've never really used before. And I'm very, very, very rusty on my makeup because I did not wear much while on vacation, and just like that, I was losing my skill. I wore some. Don't get it twisted, but much less than usual. And so when I came home and started wearing my makeup for work, it was not that great. It took me a second. I was feeling a bit self-conscious, and then I had to just get over it. But yeah, so when I'm in Hawaii, anyone who's on vacation, I am such a much calmer spirit. My needs are very different. If you are I'm not someone to travel with if you like a lot of if you have a big itinerary and want to do a ton of things. I'm not that. If I get around to doing those things, then great. If I don't, I'm very fine with that, as long as I'm doing what makes me feel peaceful. I don't know. I think that's cute. We'll see how it looks when I clean it up. So I'm sorry for all these and so you can really tell I do them all the time, but it feels excessive right now because I'm still getting my footing. Getting prepared for this was like I said, tough. You know, I don't want to ever lie. I think it's a weird thing when people can sense that like you're off about something and then you don't bring it up, and so it makes them feel easy. But like I want to do, as I always say, I want to do these videos more often, and the amount of help that I needed from my husband really like turned me off, because I'm like, how am I supposed to do these things if I always need help? You know, because I just wasn't sure how I wanted to set it up, if I wanted to use a backdrop, you know. And yeah, like despite being married for a few years, that has not changed my desire to be very fiercely independent. And so I have a very hard time getting help. And then, you know, and I'm feeling a lot better. It's not 100% perfect, but even having had not felt well for a few years, I'm even more like hard about receiving help now, because I feel like if I'm feeling better, I can't get trapped into needing help again. These are all issues that I've had for a long time, so you know, I'm not shocked by it. But yeah, so being in, who's that? That's my baby sneezing under the blanket. She likes to hang out under the blanket and nap. Being in Hawaii and being in Kauai in particular, like I need very little. I like the concept of even getting bored there. That I'm not always thinking about something or trying to fix something or trying to accomplish something. And, you know, I'm like, what would I do if I had the opportunity to move there? Which I definitely want to at some point. And I see so many people work in hospitality there, and I'm like, you know, ideally I would not have to, but life is life, and let's be honest. Could I do it? Because I'm like, I don't think I have any more hospitality skill left in me. But anything's possible, because I'm like, you know, I'm born and raised in New York, so how I respond to things is just very, very, very different than maybe how I would respond to them if I wasn't, you know. This primer I'm putting on, it's the Tasha Silk Canvas, and I've never used a primer like this before. I wanted to try this. I bought this isn't a sample. I wanted to try it because I love their water cream. It's a face cream, but it's very, very, it feels very rich, but it's very, very light. And don't freak out by how I touch my eyes. I give them love. But I am pretty I get the job done. I'm not too worried about it while I'm putting makeup on. Yeah, I really like the water cream. I was looking for a cream for nighttime that felt rich but didn't sit on my face so much and make me feel like I'm going to sleep with stuff on my face. I hate that sensation. So, you know, I was really happy when I found that. Of course, it is not cheap. And of course, it's like, Hasina, you have to get better with the things that you like, because girl, you like pricey things. And there are other things that I would like to buy, not just night cream. So yeah, I've been sitting with those feelings because I'm like, who am I? Am I just responding to being someone from New York? And would I react that way if I were not? And that's anything, being from New York, being on a lip, being a woman, being a black woman, with natural hair, being a brown to, in the summer, darker skinned black woman. Who are you when those things aren't factored in? Who are you, as I guess Eckhart would say, as the witness? I'm sitting with that now because, you know, I just turned 39, and I mean, I would say, I don't know, I don't call it anything like any kind of crisis, because I feel like I've been sitting in some kind of constant angsty adolescent crisis for 20 years. So I don't know. But those are the things I want to explore right now in my life, because you think you know everything because you've been sitting doing the same thing. But is it a knowledge or is it a habit that you're aware of? Is it knowledge or is it habit? You know, if I say I'm someone who's very persistent, very ambitious, very assertive, very whatever, am I that? Or am I that because of whatever I've had to respond to in my life? Okay, I think I like this primer. It seems very, very nice. Yeah. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to be using my brushes. I haven't used these before. So I've been using them on people, but everyone but myself. Another thing I've been having fun with is using, I guess I get this from Jackie Aina. I think I was doing it before, but then got like really diligent about doing it. Less color corrector for me, but more just using different concealers that kind of give different tones to balance out the tones in the face. Because I know for me, and this is a thing, we're getting better with complexion stuff. We really, really are. But it's tough because, you know, being brown, darker skinned, brown is weird. I personally have a tough time saying brown. I'm not always the same complexion. And to me, it's easy to say darker skin, but I also don't want you to think I'm the end spot in dark skin. I want to make sure that people are aware that there's a whole beautiful array of complexions. But back to my point, we don't discuss like undertones and I guess overtones. Like I have a lot of olive in my face and I also have a lot of yellow. I don't know how those work, but you don't notice it until you see like the color someone's trying to like put on your face and give you, and all of a sudden you see all the green show up or you see all the yellow show up. Even like how people interpret my complexion sometimes I think is a little lighter than what it is, just because of the yellow undertone. And you know, it's fine, people don't aren't aware that that's not their job. The job is for the makeup companies to kind of acknowledge like what you see happening with lighter skinned women in different tones, they happen with darker skinned women too. So you know, let's be aware of that. Especially like my mouth area has always been like a little green. I think I've discussed that before. And now I did a detox in December, and I got this weird little discoloration spot that's still healing up. It's strange because I usually don't, you know, and that's not a brag, but I usually don't get any pimples or anything. But I mean, I got it from, I'm sure from the detox, but I get hyperpigmentation, so once it's gone, it's still there forever, and that's kind of annoying. So it's still been like fading and healing up, but you know, and I know it's not even that like apparent, but it's a little tough and annoying because I hate, like, if I touch my face wrong, I could have that pimple, that discoloration there forever. And that's always been the case. The good part, you should not pop your pimples, but the good part is I've never cared if I pop my pimples because I was going to get the scar anyway, whether I let it fade out or go on its own. I was going to get a scar, so I just pop it. Don't do that though. Yeah, so I've been sitting with these thoughts about just like, what and who am I really? You know, like I was doing something. I hate when I feel that feeling in myself that like I'm betraying myself. And even in the smallest of ways, like I was talking to someone and I called myself eccentric. And I'm not. I'm saying that for everyone else, you know, because I don't do maybe what everyone else does. But that doesn't make me eccentric. You know, that just makes me someone who does something else. And even, I mean, but then we'd even have to just dissect, like, what does it mean to be eccentric? But that's another discussion. That, and also, I always call myself a germaphobe. Always. But I'm not a germaphobe. I just think that there's standards of hygiene that we all are not like honoring. Like I don't walk into a space afraid to touch things. I do now, but afraid to touch things just on principle. When I see that my space is not being well taken care of, or everyone's not like honoring what they could do to be more hygienic, yeah, I start to feel really, really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. And that's what I'm responding to. So if you don't know me, you don't get me, that's going to definitely look like I'm a germaphobe. But, you know, it's all just stuff. So it's like, like the chicken or the egg, like, okay. And I noticed that's one thing that stood out to me, like when I was in Hawaii, like I wasn't, you know, not like people can't have germs when you go on vacation, but you don't know those people. You're not used to them. Like, okay, this is Jane who always sneezes near you, never covers her mouth. You don't know those people. It feels different. You know. But it is, and I'm sorry for all the ums and stuff. I know I'm usually terrible with it to begin with, but it's excessive this time. But yeah, you know, I want to know who Hasina is. Not Hasina because she's on 42nd Street waiting for the train and there's a crowd. Not Hasina because she's in an environment where maybe she's the only black person there and she doesn't want to come off angry just because she's stating an opinion. Not Hasina who needs to be the sidekick to something, or Hasina who needs to be the hi Bree Bree, you know, the appropriate person who says and does the right thing all the time because that's what you know her to be. I don't want to. I want to know who Hasina is, separate of my environment. I wonder if I'm going to get this done in any decent amount of time. It is not looking good. But yeah, I think that that's what I want to explore for a while. Because I think, especially in this, like, which just feels like a new phase of my life, that I don't know who I truly am. I can feel it, but I don't know it to speak it. I don't know it to say. I know what my boundaries are. I know the things that I want. I know, for the most part, that's actually been troublesome, but like, do I not like to be in crowds, or do I not like to be in crowds where it feels aggressive or it feels, you know what I mean? I just feel like we've developed all these things that we say and we don't, and we hold on to them like it's the rules, you know? This is what it is. This is your life. This is what you are, and you can't ever change that. And I don't think I want to be a part of that anymore. And I think I've needed it at times to express myself, but like, I want more. I want different things for my life now. And how do I get that if I still keep holding on to some belief about who I am that no longer, that not necessarily doesn't feel like it's in alignment with me, but that I'm questioning. You know, sometimes, and it's tough. Sometimes I listen to, you know, having conversations with like older friends and everything, and they're like, and you do da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, I don't really do that no more. I haven't done that in about 10 years. I haven't done that in about 15 years. But, you know, you want to feel like you know the people in your life. But how do you know them and still give them room to grow? You know, I think that's always a tough part with relationships. I have a tough time with, like, and I'm not always honest because I feel like you have to let people do what they do, and you can't police them, and you can't always teach them a different way because their way is fine. You can't even teach, I mean, even when you want to teach them a different way because they're asking to be taught, and then you expect them to, like, really hold on to that. I hope I'm making sense. I really am. I'm trying. But yeah, you know, like, it is hard to say to that person that's known you for 25 years that no, I'm not really who I am anymore. And then it also feels hard because then you have to admit that, like, they haven't seen or heard you. They've been there the whole time, and that's why I always say the difference between hearing and listening. They've been there the whole time, but they really haven't seen your changes, you know. And maybe they don't want to, and maybe, you know, they have enough going on in their lives. But I don't know how you maintain the relationship that you have. I don't mean to leave it, but like, how do you be authentic to yourself and keep that relationship too? I don't know. I have a tough time. I think even it's tough, you know, in families, because, you know, as you get older, how do you honor who you've become while they're still telling you who you are? And they haven't really had time to get to know you, the adult version of you, or the changed version of you. You know, because you need that. I get it. You need that normalcy. Like, these people are this. But how do you honor that they're not? Maybe they're not anymore. And can that be okay? Can you sustain that relationship even though that may have changed? It's tough. It is tough. And it's scary. I usually don't like to use that word. I feel like we're such a society that's so indulgent in wanting to be afraid of every fucking thing. Understandably so. There are things to be afraid of, but we love to be afraid. Oh my God, we love that shit. And I don't know if like I'm more like sensitive to it, like someone who deals with a lot of anxiety. That I'm just like, God damn, y'all don't really need to be scared of this right now. Like, I think we never talk about that opposite side of being anxious. Like, I feel anxious all the time. So when I know when I feel legitimate fear, it's just like, that's my nervous system. So I'm like, y'all scared all the time. Y'all are fucking being scared. It's crazy. Like, you're not gonna get out of this alive. You don't have to be scared all the time. But what are you gonna do? I don't know, in my life, this feels like a very transformational year. And I want to take advantage of that feeling. I want to honor myself, as I always say. That's always like top in the desire. But I also want to honor that I can't change everybody, and that it is okay to not know, but we gotta start talking about the fact that we don't know. I really want to know who this person is. If I'm honest, I'm like, I want to know who Hasina is, but I want to know who I am before I was even Hasina. That's where my heart is at. That's where my beingness is at. I also like to, I use a sponge on back to the makeup. I use a sponge for the concealer, but I also like to use a brush because I do have these lines here and this darkness here, and I feel like, and letting it dry, I do feel like that allows me to have more coverage. Yeah, that's looking nice. Wow, so this is going to be a long one because I was going to do shadow, but we'll see, because I wanted to talk about a topic, but it feels like I'm not delving in the way that I wanted to. And if I'm honest, and I don't like to bring up tragic things, but with the passing of Kobe and all that stuff, I've been in a little haze. I feel terrible for their families. But I just in general have a tough time shaking off collective energies of sadness. Another topic, some other time. I get better, but when it's big, because everyone's feeling, it's very hard to shake off. So I've felt this distance between myself and my thoughts more than I say I would typically expect to. So, what are you gonna do? But we power through and we continue doing, because that's ultimately what we're supposed to do. And that's ultimately how we can honor people that we don't know, by doing and staying afloat. I believe that, you know. But yeah, I would love to really hear you guys' thoughts as well. Like, are you having those same kind of feelings? You know, and you could just say, no, Hasina, you're angsty and you always got some shit going on in your head. That's fine. That's fair. Would not be a lie. But I'm coming back on this. I used to hate like the highlighter here because I just feel like it looks like light colored beard. But I think because I've been mixing my yellow corrector powder with this what is it, Laura Mercier medium deep powder. I think I've been liking it a little more. I like this a lot, the Laura Mercier. If I'm honest, the regular color I thought was cool. I didn't like lose any sleep off of it. It's nice. But the medium deep, I feel like, takes all of that like unnecessary lightness on certain parts of your face out, because you want the highlight, but you don't necessarily want brightness everywhere. And that's always been tough. Like back to when I was talking about like undertones, I have to be careful with those things, because then if I pick something too dark, I start to look ruddy, or like kind of like a dirtiness to the face. It's weird. I wish I had a better term to use, but it looks like kind of like you need to be going home and washing your face. Yeah, and I hate that, and that's actually why I always have to get like the right color and make sure that there's not too much red or too much orange in it, you know, because then that happens. And the worst is when it starts to feel like it looks normal when you start the day, and at the end of the day you just look like you have trash on your face, like you were playing in the yard and got shit on your face. But yeah, there's so much I want to be doing differently in this new year. I feel such a deep desire for change and growth, and I typically feel this feels different. This feels like I'm more prepared, which is weird because I don't necessarily know what it is I want to be doing. And oh, can I tell you, that is the hardest part. I'm not used to that at all. At all. It actually is like painful to me not knowing. But here I am, not knowing and surviving. I wouldn't say thriving quite yet, but I am surviving. And I'm grateful for that. And I know the answers are on the way. I believe the answers are on the way. So I wanted to do shadows and everything else, but we are almost 35 minutes in, so I think I'm going to put on a little eyeliner and a little lipstick and keep it moving, and next time I will be more thorough and I will be more fast in my speech and my thoughts and make it more worthwhile for you, you know. But like I said, I want to know your thoughts. Are you feeling these pains too? Have you never thought about these things and I'm bringing drama into your life? This is my wonky eye, so however it works out, it works out. If so, I apologize that I brought unnecessary dramas into your life. That was not my intention. I just think about a lot of shit. You know. Did I fuck up my eye? Of course I did. Can I save it? We'll see. Will I leave it if I can't? Yeah, well. And I am known for that, being very close to having everything the way I want it to look and then fucking it up in the last second. What are you gonna do? I can't cry over makeup. I love it, but I can't cry over makeup. Not when there's real shit. I will live with that mark on my face. I could take it off, but no, don't care. This is another thing I got, this Milk Kush mascara. I very much like it. I very much like it. I was laughing though, because like 2 months ago, one day, my eyelashes went straight. I have 4 eyelashes that just went straight. They just decided they were not gonna curl anymore. And I got an eyelash curler. I got curling mascara. I got a heated eyelash curler. I am telling y'all, nothing will curl those lashes. So I just have to accept it. Because I am like, I can't be stressing out for that. But it's so weird. It was just like one day my eyelash was like, nah, we gonna be straight. Rest y'all could stay, but we gonna be straight. And I was like, okay then. Alright then. That'll do. It's so fucking weird. But such is life. So I will rock my little 4 straight lashes and let them live their happy lives. Seems plenty. And a friend of mine picked this up for me, the cinnamon roll butter gloss from NYX that was like the Loch Ness Monster for a few years, where like 2 people had it and no one could find it, and it was making us nuts. So they were like, why can't we find this? It is just a lip gloss, but it's cute. I like it. And they brought it back. They just never told anyone. They discontinued it. So that's why we were all out there like, where the hell is that? Okay, my loves. That's it. This is good enough. This will do. Man, if you made it this long, then yo, I send you many, many blessings. You are loved. You are cared for, even if you don't know it. Please know it. And tell me what makes you you. I would love to hear it in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope to bring you more videos soon. And it's 2020. Let's be kind to each other. Let's be kind to ourselves. Let's love on each other and let's love on ourselves. All right? Talk soon. One love. Peace.